Ladies and gentlemen, we interrupt your regularly scheduled programming to bring you this special bulletin. Game developers don't seem to be all that happy when they get found out that they have been consulting, working, even in the slightest bit, with particular diversity, inclusion, and equity groups like that go by the name of Sweet Baby. And the latest one, in fact, this article from that Park Place. Spitfire Interactive responds to its tactics game, Capes, being added to the DIE detected website. Cabrutus, you need to change that, DIE, because that's what it does to video games. After it consulted with Sweet Baby Inc. Now, what do you think their response could be? No, heavens no, we didn't consult with them. Or it was just a little bit. Or they had no effect on the gameplay and the blah, 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 blah. I guess we'll have to wait and see, but let's check out their response. Cabrutus Rambo announced the game was added to DEI detected on X. He wrote, "Sup, guys? I bring a new..." I need to listen to Cabrutus more. I want to try to get his accent down. I bring... yeah, me with a Brazilian accent. "I bring a new Sweet Baby Inc. game for y'all." He then shared a link to the DEI detected, which notes that Sweet Baby Inc. is listed in the game's credits, including the company's co-founder, David Bedard, and the oh-so-famous, the illustrious, almost the instigator in everything going on, all this nonsense with Sweet Baby Inc., the one, the only, Chris Kindred. What a wonderful individual. I would love to have that individual just consulting on anything and everything I'd want to work for. How much greater? How much better could he possibly make it be? The credits were pulled from YouTuber Christopher Odd's channel. Spitfire Interactive developer Penta addressed the game being added to the DEI detected. They're getting to the point where once they find out, they're terrified. They have to respond. They must address this instead of, if you weren't so terrified, if you weren't so worried, why would you address it? Well, let the game speak for itself. Allow the game to be added, and then you will have people that buy these games. Regardless of whether or not Sweet Baby Stench is involved, they're going to have people to go out to review, to put their money where their mouth is, and find out if the game is actually infested with the plague of forced diversity, inclusion, and equity at the detriment to the story and characters. And they'll let everybody know. Absolutely everybody. That's how all this works. I've said it before, stumbling over my words. As a record player in my head, every once in a while it scratches. I hit a bump. There's this thing, I've said it over and over again. Make it fun first. Fuckers. Thank you, Steve. Make it fun first. You will be amazed. I'm a broken record here. Did I mention there was a record player in my brain? Let's keep going with the article. You know what I'm trying to say, everyone. Well, no, every video is someone's first. Make it fun first. Focus on the gameplay, the story, the characters, and then put your diversity crap in last. Make sure it's fun first. Don't let the gameplay, don't let the fun factor suffer. Let's keep going. We already had, let's see. Developer Penta addressed the game being added to the DEI detected website, writing on the game's Steam forum. Let's go ahead and take a look at this little screenshot. "You are a little late, actually. We already had 3 months and 14 pages of constructive discussion about DEI in the forum." If you just... I think your problem is if you just bring up DEI, you're going to send people away. Nobody even likes those 3 letters. Absolutely not. "In the forum and delivered the gameplay update focusing on exactly what the player base wanted, leading to approximately 80% positive reviews. You don't have to take my word for it. You can actually read up on it for yourselves. But we were already able to explain that SBI only worked briefly. Just a little smidge, just a little trifle, really. Mainly to bring the 4 to 5 strong indie dev team in contact with fitting voice actors. You don't need a consultancy group to do that." I think you're lying. Or at least, not necessarily lying, just misleading everyone with that statement. I cannot imagine you would need such a well-known group as Sweet Baby Stench to find you, to get you in touch with voice actors. Right? Anyway, together with the devs 2+ years ago, and many first skeptical players were able to find out that there is no hidden agenda or something else we, quote, force down your throats. It has nothing to do with that. It's just you're involved with Sweet Baby Inc. Gamers are getting tired, sick and tired of these so-called consultancy groups being involved in video games when they get their hands on the video game and it sucks ass. So, gamers come to their own conclusions. And they decide to step away, move away, close their wallets on any and every game that consultancy groups like Sweet Baby Inc. Yes, I know there's more. We're finding out more and more all the time, wanting to ensure diversity, equity, and inclusion in areas that it does not feel organic, doesn't feel natural, doesn't make sense to the story. Therefore, it is believed to be forced. That's where the force down your throats comes from, or other concerns they had besides a well-rounded, diverse cast. Does your diverse cast make sense in the universe that you are putting forth? If it does, then what are you concerned about? Don't even respond. Let the game speak for itself. Why on earth am I talking in this accent when I'm not reading? So why don't we just focus on the most important question that the OP was mentioning already? Is capes fun? Hey, I say that. Make it fun first. And this is exactly why I brought up the positive reactions today's most recent update. We think you would enjoy it if you give it a chance. People will give it a chance. And your game will speak for itself. And the reviews will come in, and people will give their opinion. And if it doesn't look like the diversity, equity, and inclusion is forced, if it feels natural and it's fun, you have nothing to worry about. However, since the article continues, I think we got a little bit more stuff to find out. While Penta claims that... Okay, stop with the accent. While Penta claims that most recent reviews are positive, the, quote, most helpful reviews in the past 30 days are negative. Shine Light bashed the game and wrote on July 31st. That was a measly 3 days ago. 2.5 days ago. Let's go with 2.5. The tactics aren't fun. The cast is a diversity quota checklist. But does it make sense? Not actual characters. The game's tone is all over the place. I don't want to play it, and I don't want to watch it for its story either. That's not a good review. In both gameplay and story, the game acts like a derivative, oh my goodness. A derivative of a derivative of a derivative. There's no soul here, nothing interesting. It's like a superhero game made by people who hate superheroes. Oh dear. Oh, you mean like Marvel Disney Marvel. This game also does a scummy thing of making it look like you have alternate costumes to equip, but trying to equip them instead takes you to Steam DLC page. Oh no! It makes it look like you have alternate costumes to equip, but it takes you to the Steam DLC page and tries to charge you $11 for that. That is mobile cream crap. Oh my goodness, yes. Don't do that. That is not a pleasant way to monetize your game. I lost a lot of goodwill with the devs when I saw that. The missions have BS in them that tactics games shouldn't have, like objectives you don't know about until partway through the mission, which would have dictated the whole way to run it. They're contrived and don't feel natural. I was putting up with it until one mission that was too annoying for me to continue to play. Not a very good review. I stopped at the mission where you kidnap the streamer girl. Spoilers. You kidnap the streamer girl atop the skyscraper, he said. It's an escort mission. Everyone loves escort missions, don't we, ladies and gentlemen? To get her to follow you, you have to be ahead of her. You have to run her onto this elevator so she can escape. But to do that, you also have to be on the elevator. You also need to escape. Why don't you take the elevator? Why don't you take that elevator? Okay. You've already got at least one character on the elevator to get the NPC escort there. There is no reason. It's just a contrivance to make the mission harder. You instead have to run a totally different area while enemies spawn infinitely in your path. My goodness. Poor mission design. Oh, goodness, there's more. Let's see. Characters are really bad. So, backstabbing. Yeah. Okay. Backstabbing lesbian rogue naturally backstabs people both in her life and the game's mechanics. What on earth? Has a tank, it has a taunt powder. So, A few not so great reviews. Crippled Indian telekinetic who gets around the crippled part by just levitating himself elsewhere. That seems like a pretty good idea. He plays a pity party card after being judged and bullying a lot. Oh my goodness, what is this? Oh, pity party the game? So doesn't want to judge or bully others. Oh, Lord have mercy. Let's keep getting... Brazilian-American football player who controls lightning and wind. His ultimate power involves him screaming in pain for a solid 5 to 7 seconds. That sounds like a fun gameplay mechanic. It's an extremely long animation and scream. What a nightmare that would have been to play before the devs introduced a speed up button. Oh my goodness. And there is more characters. I'm not even going to see them. My goodness. The tone is so inconsistent that I can't get a read on what the game expects. Go check out that Park Place if you want to read more. We're going to go ahead and continue on with the article. Shine Light was not alone. Another article. The game is pretty simplistic and basic. Oh, goodness. John, you put all the reviews in here? Aren't enough character models. The game has been out for 2 months. From what I can see online, it looks like they've sold roughly 9,000 copies. Not terrible. 41 active players. Ugh. Is this an ongoing game? Let's see. Let's keep going. As noted by Bazumi, the game had a peak concurrent player base. Oh, that's a drop of just 664 players. With 9,000 copies sold, 664 players, that doesn't seem all that great. Thank you for making it this far, by the way. Those were some wonderful reviews. Players quickly abandoned the game as it dropped below 100 concurrent players in about 2 weeks. So you have all these positive reviews, and the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Consultancy Group Sweet Baby Inc. had no effect on the fun factor of the game, but I don't know, read those capes, huh? Should I go check it out? What platforms is it on? Oh, what do you make of Spitfire's Interactive's response to being added? They're afraid. They're terrified. They want the game to speak for itself. This is sending a message to more and more, hopefully more and more game devs out there to pay attention. Gamers, your average white male gamer, no. Your average gamer is sick and tired of this BS being forced into the games that we play, that we enjoy, that we love. Because it takes away from the story. It comes across as you're focusing on the checkbox ideological nonsense to the detriment of the story, the characters, the gameplay mechanics, and the gameplay loop. Adjust your focus. Stop working with these cancerous studios and start making fun games again. And maybe, just maybe, you'll see a turnaround on the bottom line. But that's all I've got. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Leave a like, leave a dislike, do all those nifty little things because YouTube is begging you to do, and I hope to see you on the next one. Bye-bye.